All right, hello. We're back, House in Fata Morgana tonight. We are going to open that door, and I'm so scared about what we're going to find inside. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but like I've been thinking about it ever since the last stream that we did on this, and we're so close. How badly are we going to fuck it up? Maybe we'll find Giselle back there. I don't know. We'll find a pony. I don't know. I'm so nervous. Okay, let's get into it. I'm Kels. You'll see me on the screen. I realize that makes a lot less sense to say when I'm solo. I guess I don't do enough of these, but yeah, so you'll be hearing a ton of me. Come chat. Okay, recap. So, Maria refused to continue yesterday's conversation because we're obviously in poor health and told us to go back to bed, so we made ourselves out to be a prophet. She liked hearing that Morgana appreciated the brothel despite everyone giving her distance and the man closest to her being dead. We invited Maria to say her piece to Morgana when we entered the tower, but Maria doesn't want to. She handed us a necklace that the slave wanted to give as a birthday present. Nellie and Pauline showed up to ask us to take care of their men when freeing Morgana. Pauline mentioned that Jean-Francois's predecessor was much worse than him, and we now realize that Jacopo is the slave who got adopted as that lord's heir. We had dinner with the lord and asked his story, and Key, after revealing we know about the blood, Mel and Yukimasa backed us when he tried to call the guards and forced him to stay. I will say, like, yeah, Mel and Yukimasa, you know what? They helped us out a lot more than I thought they were going to. So I feel like I need to issue a formal apology to them. I was not familiar with their game. I appreciate it. The Lord gave up his key too easily, and we asked him why he needed the lock to be 3 keys. We deduced his past as the slave Jacopo who saved Morgana and then felt guilty about imprisoning her, so we had Maria pass him off as dead. He tried to stab us but broke the necklace, and it spewed darkness that swallowed us and made us experience Jacopo's story of wanting to spitefully claw out of poverty and praying for the dead. He kept treating Morgana's wounds with expensive ointment, and she used to be playfully standoffish with him. He wanted to see her face and give her normalcy, and kind of flirted with her. He instigated the slave revolt, but wasn't one himself, and the revolution died afterwards. Then a woman claiming to be his mother tried to weasel him onto the throne as a bastard heir. Maria was his friend who encouraged him to confess to Morgana at her party. Jacopo almost worked up the nerve to confess after Maria's shenanigans at the party, but then the slaughter happened. He failed to protect anyone and just got stabbed for his troubles, but he and Maria both survived. This powerlessness inspired him to accept his fake mom's offer for taking over as the Lord. She showed him the Barnier crest ring to prove his lineage that we suspect is actually Maria's. Maria wanted him to stay with her, but he still became the new Lord. As the new lord, he wanted to keep his promises of a better world for Morgana, but lost his way due to exhaustion and pressure from enemies. In pursuit of economic power, he set up the Miracle Blood business and decided one witch's sacrifice was acceptable to fulfill Morgana's charity, and was not expecting the witch to be Morgana. But she thought he was the old lord and lashed out at him. He decided to keep his power and pretend not to be the peasant she once knew. Back in the real world, we confirmed that the backstory matches with Jacopo and Abby from Door 3. We called him out on letting everything get this far, but he refused to believe Morgana could ever treasure him until Mel and Yukimasa vouched for her. Jacopo revealed the festival was when he planned on freeing her, and he refused to deviate from that plan at first, but we seemingly changed his mind and he's coming along for opening the door. I am very surprised and somewhat proud of us that we managed to do it. Like, we have a whole half a day still left. So either something's not going to go right, or we have surpassed expectations, which is rare for us. So let's find out. Clutching the necklace in one hand, Jacopo takes up the head of the procession to the observation tower. And while it lasts, but for a brief moment, I see an image of the young man he used to be in his slightly slouched shoulders. All right, 1, 2, 3. We did it. They each insert and turn their individual keys. The lock disengaging and the door giving a deep groan as it swings open. Are we going to get up there and she's actually already dead? I'm probably overthinking this. I think we're near the end of the game, but I thought that we were near the end of the game so far ago that it just keeps throwing me curveballs. Yeah, and then there's another door. Beyond it, a spiral staircase extends high into the sky. Every time I've climbed these stairs, it's always been a solemn affair. And now is no different. I've succeeded, though. I've got them all here, ready to set her free before she's supposed to die. I have changed the past. Can we not like declare victory already? I feel like that's jumping the gun a little bit. Giselle. Can you hear me, Giselle? I made it in time. Now Morgana doesn't have to die tomorrow. I did it. Giselle? With me? Come on. Do you guys hear talking behind the door? Is there someone else in there with her? There couldn't be. It's only Morgana. Stay with me, please. Come on, you can't give up now. Oh, be quiet. As if you have any idea what I'm going through. Of course I do. No. Standing before the door at the top of the stairs, a chill runs down my spine. Before I have time to consider what might have caused it, my body moves on its own. I shove my way past the other men and push open the door. Giselle? Honey? You there? I know. I'll come up with something pleasant to take your mind off things. I'll come up with a story. A story? How about this? A dove flies in through the window up above, a piece of parchment tied to its leg. It's a letter from the prince of a neighboring land. You read it, and then you write a response. I do not. I don't respond. After exchanging letters back and forth for some time, the prince comes to find you. I'm not going to fall for your stupid fantasies. Holy shit, is our Morgana trying to, I don't know, seduce seems like a really weird word for, herself, but, like, is the Morgana of the future trying to influence the Morgana of the... The more I say this stuff out loud, the more I'm over here like, do I even understand any of what's going on? That sounds so wild to say. Holding on to something, even a fantasy, is better than believing in nothing at all. I don't want you to give up hope. But baseless hope only breeds despair. Not that you would know that. Besides, if anyone's going to come for me, I don't want it to be a prince. There's only one person I want to see. We're all stunned to silence at the scene unfolding beyond the door. Morgana is having a conversation with herself. This does answer the question of who the white-haired girl is and where she came from. But I can't... This is just... No one should have to go through this. Her mind has split into two. Oh, Morgana, it looks like you have visitors. They're here to take my blood. Or they've got no use for me anymore and are here to kill me. Oh, don't be so negative. Look, there's someone new. Kill me. Just set me free already. Morgana, you know what my wish is. Kill me and curse. Put a curse on them. Come on, Morgana. Look up at them. Your letters, they made it. I never wrote any letters.
He's got long hair as white as snow, and eyes like rubies. He's beautiful, like an angel descended from heaven. An angel?
Morgana. I've come for you, Morgana. Come to set you free. Would you please undo her shackles, Jacopo? As you say. Oh, poor Morgana. Poor girl. She deserved so much better. I'm so mad still. Morgana.
Angel?
Can you hear me, Morgana? At long last, I have the chance to hold you while you're still alive. I'm here to get you out of this tower. You have nothing to worry about anymore. You can go outside again, see the sun. You can go back to your own life.
Angel.
Morgana.
Angel.
No one's going to hurt you anymore, Morgana. And the three of them by the door, none of them had any malice for you.
Angel.
You're free. You can go free again.
Angel.
You can have a normal life. No one is going to take any more of your blood.
Angel.
Please, Morgana. Please stay with me. Don't you want to leave this place? I'm going to set you free. I'll take you back to your cottage by the lake. I'll get you medicine. I'll help you with anything you need. If you want to go somewhere far away, I'll take you there. I'm begging you.
I've waited so long for this moment.
Morgana.
I've been waiting so long for God to send an angel. Are you an angel?
Are
you an angel sent to deliver me from this place? Please, deliver me unto my Father's presence. I can't go back out there. I can't live in the mortal realm any longer. I don't want to. There's only one place I wish to go. O holy servant of the Lord, you are an angel, aren't you?
Morgana.
Please, deliver me from this place.
Yes, that's right. For now, yes, I am the Archangel Michael, sent to deliver your soul unto God the Father, your angel. I have descended from heaven above.
That's wonderful.
Morgana?
Is he proud of me?
Your Father, the Lord Almighty, is exceedingly proud of the great work you have done in his name.
Thank you. It means so much to me to hear that. I couldn't be happier to be able to return with you to see him.
Morgana. Morgana! Morgana! There we go. Here, drink my blood to get better. I don't know how that works. I don't know if it works, but you know what? It's worth a shot. I don't think anyone else has ever drank our blood, so maybe we all have magic blood. Her body goes limp in my arms as the last of her life slips away. Oh, I had a feeling she was going to die. That's probably... What do we do? What's going to happen now? I'm distressed. There should have been more than enough time to spare, but still I failed to save her life. At the very least, I hope I was able to provide her some comfort in her final moments.
I'm allowed to think that, aren't I? We were too late. But why? Wasn't she not supposed to die until... That's what you said, isn't it? That was how it was supposed to happen, right? So how come we still didn't make it?
Why didn't you do anything? Why did you just let her wither away like this? Why? Answer me!
I have no answer for you.
I had no idea she had deteriorated so badly.
We should take her outside. Then you can atone for your sins. But first, we need to take her body somewhere clean. Death does not mean you are free of pain. We need to ensure her soul can depart in peace. You won't see me objecting. You need to say now what you were going to say to her. You must let her know the truth.
She's dead. What good will it do to reveal my feelings now? Are you really that dense? Of course it will do good. Her physical body may be dead, but her soul is still here, watching everything, listening to every word you say. I don't believe in souls. Well, I'm begging you to change your mind. Let Morgana hear what you have to say. Don't let her soul see the hatred. Please, I'm begging you.
Okay. Morgana, I am not the Lord you knew. The man who put you through that hell, I killed him. I'm the man who freed you from his grasp. I'm the man who spent the next 3 years with you. We were poor and food was scarce, let alone good food. But those were happy times. Just about every day I'd come to rub ointment on your face. I'd tell you to look at me and you'd reluctantly turn my way. I used to think a lot about the face you'd make when you finally gave in. And then there was Maria. I can only imagine how obnoxious you thought the two of us were when we were in the same room together. You sitting off alone while me and Maria go at it, not making a peep, me always trying to sneak glances at you. There's so much I never managed to tell you. And I hate myself for being too weak to put any of it into words. I could apologize, but I doubt you'd forgive me. And I don't want you to either. I just want you to know that this isn't how I wanted things to turn out. What I wanted more than anything was to show you the world. But instead, all I managed to show you was the inside of a cold, dark tower. Not the beautiful, unimaginably wide world outside these walls, but a tiny, filthy corner of it. I did this to you. I took everything from you when I should have given you everything. However much you hate me, I deserve every last bit of it and more. I was ready to pay with my life if that's what you wanted. I was ready to do absolutely everything. This wasn't how I wanted things to turn out. I waited too long to bring myself to action. Morgana, the man there, he told me you said the 3 years you were with me and Maria were the brightest days of your life. Well, they were for me too. I loved you. That's everything.
See, chat, you and I are on the same page there, because I was really worried when she died earlier and Mel was starting to accuse us that all of a sudden we were going to lose our head. Right? Jacopo would have, like, all of a sudden we'd lose our prophet status. I don't know what that light going out was. There we go. Morgana, you were kind of hot, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to tap that before you croaked. Easy.
Did any of what he just said make it through to you, Morgana? I pray with all my heart that him opening up, will have even the tiniest effect on how you feel. Morgana, I also want to apologize for everything I did to hurt you. I feel terrible about it, I really do. And yeah, I know that's not enough to make up for what I've done, so I want to make amends, whatever it takes. If you want me to give you my life now, I will. Or if you want me to spend the rest of my days paying for my sins, I can do that too. I am an irredeemable monster and a killer. I take pleasure in hurting people. You were right to be afraid of me. Okay, Yukimasa, this isn't confession. I don't necessarily know that you had to start that way, but we're going this way, I guess. I am genuinely sorry for what I did to you, though. I never wanted to see you dead. Sorry. I can't come up with anything better to say. There we Can you speak up? I'm having trouble hearing you over my one-armed corpse. Like, Morgana is likely going to be a better person than me because I would still be very salty about it. Like, y'all can say sorry, but also I'm dead now because of all three of you. So, guess you're all getting cursed. But this is not that kind of game, I'm assuming. Let's bring her outside. Would you carry her body, please? You should be the one to carry her. You're far better suited to the job. Don't I have, like, a broken arm, though? Oh, there we go. My right arm is in no condition to be picking anything up. I'll help you lift her then. You said it was my words she needed to hear the most, but ultimately, it was you who saved her. And me, who made that necessary. She wanted to be delivered to God by the hands of an angel. So the angel here should carry her. I can't. It wouldn't be right. Please, would you do it for her? Excuse me, sorry. Very well. Love how I had to sneeze like right before the scene changed. It's fine. That couldn't have been worse timed. Jacopo puts the necklace around Morgana's neck, then lifts her dead body off the ground and places her in my arms. He opens the door, heading the four-man procession out of the tower as he had in. I walk at the back of the line. Each step they take down the spiral staircase is slow and ponderous, as if weighted down by the knowledge of their sins. That they must make their way to the place that they will make their atonement. I wasn't able to prevent Morgana's death, but I was able to uncover the truth. I accomplished something. The sum of everything I did these 3 days should be enough to change her heart and change the course of their next lives. They should be able to avoid the tragedies I witnessed through each of their doors. When we step through this door and people see Morgana's body, we'll be made to pay for our sins. Ultimately, I'm the one responsible, so the two of you are welcome to stay behind. I'm coming with you. A girl died because of the things I did. I can't just pretend it didn't have anything to do with me. No, I don't want to. I never had any intention of fleeing. You may have been the one running the operation, but I did just as many terrible things as you. I mean, you did take off her entire arm when you actually did not need to, so... There we go. Future Morgana's over here like, I don't hate them enough to want to torture them for eternity anymore. Just torment them until Michael fixes it. Well then. Say, Michael? Yes? I figure this is probably my last chance to say it, so thank you for convincing me to hand over my key. For giving me the courage to open my eyes. You always had the courage within you, Mel. You simply needed a little help finding it. It wasn't my strength that allowed you to take action, but your own. You sure know how to make someone feel better about themselves.
I'd like to be a little stronger next time around, if there really is a next life. I'd like to be strong enough to face whatever comes my way, to not run away or try to ignore it.
I have no doubt you will be. The trials you're made to face are great, and very few of them of your own making. Yours is a tragedy of circumstance, of feelings kept secret and good intentions gone wrong. If you can face the problem when it arises rather than look away, I'm certain you can find your way to a better future.
You mean in my next life?
I do.
I'll trust you know what you're talking about then, and burn your advice into my soul. Don't look away.
Please do.
I'm glad to have met you. If there is a next life, I'd like it if we could be friends.
Just so you know, you'll never convince me to go on walks around a lake or take naps out in the sun.
Well, that makes you sound like a very gloomy, unpleasant person to be around.
Just joking.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let me just say, I far enjoyed the slumber party with the girls than hanging out with the boys this time. Like, we all talked and someone died, so I think that slumber party with the girls worked out better.
You know, you kept telling me you weren't an angel, but you actually are, aren't you? I promise you I'm a regular man. You told Morgana you were an angel. Angels and demons don't get along very well, so I'd rather not run into you in my next life.
Exactly. Mel, the only part that will be your fault in your next life is being socially oblivious. Nellie's going yandere, and Abby being your sister is not your fault. So, details.
I appreciate what you did here, though. I'll do my best to be more human next time. Please do. If I repeat to myself what you told me, that what I need most is restraint as I make my departure from this world, then maybe I won't forget it, even if I do lose my memories. Burn it into my soul. I rather like that. I think I'll follow the boy's lead there. That would be best. And I'll be praying that even if you aren't capable of love, you'll be able to live a peaceful life with a good woman who loves you. That you'll be able to make her happy by doing so. I still think she'd be better off never knowing me. Whether you want her to or not, she's almost certainly going to meet you and fall in love with you. You know, now that I think about it, she's not as normal as I first thought. She's a peculiar woman. I can't say I disagree. Well, I guess this is goodbye then.
That it is.
I know everyone else is doing it, but I've got nothing to say to you. I didn't expect you would.
Though I suppose I do have something I'd like to say to you.
And what might that be?
Be more open with yourself. If you would only put your feelings into words, things would have turned out differently, in both this life and your next.
Coming from you, a man who looks even more closed off than me, that rubs me very much the wrong way.
Do I really look that closed off?
In more ways than one, yeah.
That part of me is deeply ingrained. You telling me to open up won't magically disentangle my personality and make it be. I don't think you're as twisted as you believe you are.
I'll consider it, if this next life nonsense you're selling is true.
Please do.
Lord have mercy. One hell of a man certainly busted his way into my life. The last thing I expected was for an outsider to be the one to get us to open that door. Impressive work for one man.
It wasn't only my doing. I had help from a number of people. And it was you, Giselle, who did the most in getting me here. I'm not as big a man as the three of you make me out to be. Before this, I'd lost so much I felt utterly powerless. I was on the verge of abandoning all hope. But having the opportunity to meet all of you, to spend time with you and the people around you, it did a great deal to revitalize my spirit, despite the atrocities involved. So I thank you. I pray your next lives may turn out better.
I suppose we should get going then. Off to pay for our crimes.
To relieve her soul of some of its pain.
And I suppose to make sure their next lives go a little better.
Let's. He places a hand on the large door, then takes a step forward. The door lets out a heavy groan, and moonlight slips through the widening crack. It's all over now. I did it. I changed the past.
Yay! Yay! Oh no!
What?
Okay, I thought we won for a second. There we go. You've got the brassiest balls I've ever seen. Bet your dick is bigger than all of ours combined. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, well, here's where it all goes wrong, apparently, like I expected it would. Pray for us.
What the hell? What I see beyond the door is not the nighttime courtyard. The sun hangs high in the sky, shining down on the blood-soaked grass. Why? What's going on? That's when I notice the weight of Morgana's body is gone from my arms. And then, uh, uh, out in the courtyard, Mel, Nellie. I see a flaxen-haired girl vomit blood and fall to the ground. A young man kneels over her and takes his own life.
Oh no! No! No.
There are dead and dying townsfolk all around the nun. The swordsman is skewered as he scrambles to reach her. And at the door just to my back, Jacopo. The Lord lies unmoving, slumped against the wooden frame in a pool of blood. How can this be? We were all just talking not a minute ago. How the hell did we go from that to this? Why? Why, damn it? I changed the past, did I not? I steered them away from this outcome. I changed...
I mean, are we going into like singularity events and stuff like that? Is that what we're going into with time travel?
Oh. Oh. That's what this is? As much as I don't want to believe it, it makes sense. The sense that something wasn't quite right I've been feeling ever since I got here. The darkness that swelled up when I touched the necklace. I was never in the past at all. This isn't the real world. It's the realm of the dead. The same domain in which the cursed mansion resides. Which is why, when I arrived here, something felt off. Because death filled the air. Somewhere deep down, I could sense the similarity between here and the mansion, that gathering place of departed souls. It was never possible for me to travel back in time, to exist and interact with the real past.
You did call it. Chat called it.
I was able to summon the darkness, because this isn't the real world, merely a reconstruction, a projection of their souls' memories. It was all set in stone long ago. None of the time that I spent with any of them was real. Every emotional moment I thought I shared with them was all an illusion. None of my conversations, none of the smiles I managed to get out of them were real. I was never there. I was never present in the past with them. I'm currently sometime after all that, sometime beyond the era Morgana lived.
beyond the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. What I spoke of as their next lives was actually their past lives. All three tragedies are history. Immutable, irreversible history. There's nothing to change anymore. What then did I fight so hard to achieve? What did I accomplish by warning them of their next lives? By convincing them to endeavor to take different paths? Nothing? Was it all for nothing? I go limp at the sight of it all, dropping to my knees and sending ripples through the sea of blood. Morgana, the girl who called me an angel and asked me to deliver her unto her father, is still chained up inside the tower. What did I accomplish? What purpose did anything I do serve? Was it all just a big damned waste of time? But my cries go unanswered, simply fading into the dead air. Giselle, who kept me going for so much of this ordeal, is still silent. No, I did accomplish something. It wasn't a waste of time. Everything I did, it wasn't for nothing. I may not have changed the past, and I may not have stopped their tragedies, but I achieved something. I uncovered their stories. I learned the truth of everyone's involvement. You can't take that away from me. I know you're out there, Morgana. I know you've been watching this whole time. You know the truth now. I accomplished that much. That has to change how you see them, at least a little. If the present Morgana has a change of heart, decides to let go of her hatred, then that should cause the cursed mansion to disappear. Set their souls free. I'll take that leap of faith, that what I've done is enough, and make my way back, believing there's a future for them beyond their tragedies. So, question, how do we go back? We don't even know how we got here, so how are we intending to go back, Michael? There we go. Okay, haha, you had your fun, Morgana. Now please learn a lesson from this, please. I'm coming back, Morgana. I'm returning to that house, to that world of blackness seething with hatred, to my present. I'm going to try this once more. An honest attempt to really see you, to face you, Morgana. I'll be there as soon as I can. Kneeling in a puddle of blood, I turn my gaze toward the heavens. The searing sunlight is slowly eroded by darkness, and my body, mind, and soul follow soon after. There we go. We just freeze ourselves on a block of ice and wait for it to thaw out in the future. Clearly, cryogenics is time travel. The bloody, corpse-riddled courtyard dissolves. And I find myself once more in an utterly lightless void. I clench my teeth as hard as I can manage, squeeze my eyes as tight as I can, because that's the only way I can keep the screams back, the tears from spilling down my cheeks. I mean, I'd like to point out, this is not a lightless void. There's a lot of light here. Michael. Open your eyes, Michael. Come to me. Uh, Morgana? She looks like, oh, who is it from Fire Emblem? I cannot remember her name off the top of my head, but that's what she's reminding me of at the moment. What?
We meet at last.
What? Why is the white-haired girl here? Never mind that. Where am I? I was trying to get back to the mansion. How did I end up here?
Do you know who I am?
Of course I do. How could I not know who you are?
Splendid.
But what are you doing here? Why is there a sword in your hands? And why can I not speak?
I was able to return to this gathering place of souls thanks to your efforts.
Your uncovering of the truth of those events that transpired so many years ago allowed me to remember everything I had forgotten, to remember who I am.
Remember who you are? You mean that you're a part of Morgana?
My apologies. Bringing your soul here without any preparation has left you in a bit of a nebulous state. But my heart told me I had to do this now. Though you have no voice, I can feel your presence quite clearly. O Michael, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue, I have brought you here to ask for your assistance. I pray you will be able to help me. My request for you is simple. Take this blade and with it, extinguish my soul.
You. What are you? Extinguish your soul?
I realize that it's cruel of me to ask this of you, and for that I deeply apologize. But I want it to be you who sends me off. Could you grant this girl her selfish request?
That's not why I sought the truth. Not because I wanted to see anyone extinguished, but because I wanted to set everyone free from the mansion's cursed bonds. Because I wanted to put an end to this cycle of pain and suffering. Because I wanted to save every last person caught in this tragic quagmire. That includes you. And you're asking me to eradicate your soul?
I must be destroyed. You can't tell me that after everything you've seen, you haven't realized that I have no place in their lives. While it's true that Morgana wished for misfortune to befall them, if I hadn't been there, none of their tragedies would have taken place. If I hadn't been there, the flaxen haired girl would have been able to let go of her yearning for her brother. If I hadn't been there, the shipwrecked merchant's lover would not have lost her place as his tether. If I hadn't been there, the ambitious businessman would not have been betrayed by his close friend.
Why are you acting like it's all your fault? Are you trying to say everyone would be better off without you?
I was not a victim in the tragedies. I am culpable for them.
Culpable? Like hell you were. I saw everything from start to finish. You didn't intend for anything bad to befall anyone. You always acted out of the good of your heart. And you're trying to tell me that makes you culpable?
What do you say we answer one last lingering question, Michael? The question of what I am.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. There's no way. No way. This has to be one of Morgana's tricks. Every single time she has tried to drag us down to her level, and this feels like her trying to drag us down to her level, but doing it in a way that makes us feel good. Right? Doing it for the greater good.
The explanation might be a bit lengthy, but I would like to share it with you before I depart. I was, as you ascertained, created by Morgana's mind as it broke down in that tower.
So I was at least right on that. I have no idea who she is, but there was a split. There's two Morganas.
I was born to be a receptacle for her pain, to ease her suffering. But there's more to the story than that, Michael. Upon her death, Morgana's soul was afflicted with great pain resulting from the hatred and resentment she bore. The fact that she viewed herself as a saint only served to amplify that agony. Her identity as a saint gave her purpose in life, while simultaneously constraining her. A saint must put herself second to all others. She must be caring, generous, forgiving, and she must not bear any ill will for anyone. That was not how she felt deep down, though. She was not a saint out of the goodness of her heart. She wanted to hate them, but her identity would not allow her. Those two conflicting aspects of herself tore Morgana apart. She was unable to withstand it. So she took all her saintly characteristics and gave them to me, caring for others, putting herself second, being forgiving, and then she severed that part of her soul.
So that's why you always seem so abnormally pure-hearted.
I was no longer a part of Morgana, but something entirely separate. However, I wasn't me yet either. When you came to the mansion and resurrected Morgana, you resurrected me as well. But I had no self at first.
I was, I suppose, not much different than the particles of dust floating around the mansion. But eventually, that dust gained a sense of self, taking form as a human soul, and descended into the realm of man and the fate which governs it. What do you think the first thing a new soul wishes for when it is born, Michael? To live. I wished for a continued existence in this world, in a world where I was never meant to exist.
I refuse to accept that there's anything wrong with wanting to live.
I was supposed to remain within Morgana, as a part of her. I was never meant to be a soul of my own. To become one was to turn against the laws of the universe.
Well, fuck the laws of the universe. Yeah, we are the Haru Makishima to her god Mujina. Like, that's kind of what it seems like.
I wished to live, and Morgana wished to curse the three men's souls. Though we sought after completely separate things, because we were once two parts of a whole, each of our wishes were shaped by the others. In order for an incomplete soul like mine to survive, it needs something to bind itself to the world, something strong enough to prevent the universe from correcting the anomaly. And so the wish of that anomaly gave birth to yet another anomaly, a house that sat outside the currents of time, one that could descend into the mortal realm at various times and places. And it was that house that served as a tether for my soul.
You mean it wasn't Morgana's power that created the mansion, but your own wish?
And why did it have to be that house that bound me to the world? Because that was where she lingered, the girl from which I was formed, which meant that my wish had the consequence of granting Morgana's with it. The house, having gained perpetuity, served as a place for those reconstructed by Morgana's curse to return to. Furthermore, my connection with her had another consequence. I was the one most affected by her wish. As much as I may have wanted to do good, for them to be happy, my fate was dictated by her wish. In that position, my merely showing affection for anyone was damnable. Falling in love was an act of villainy, my very presence malevolent.
Don't say that.
I was the true witch, the true demon child.
Stop talking, please.
It should have never been possible for me to have a life at all.
Please stop.
The universe must be returned to its proper state, Michael.
Don't talk about yourself like that.
I must be erased, and Morgana's soul restored to its original form.
But why?
I do not belong here. I never belonged here. What's so wrong?
With wanting to live.
The defect must be repaired.
You're not a defect. Damn it. Why couldn't I be able to get in a word in now at least?
The restoration will not be instantaneous. It took many, many years for me to be formed, and it will take as long, if not longer, for the process to be reversed. But her soul will eventually return to its proper state. And perhaps, when her soul is restored, Morgana won't be a human. Perhaps she will be a butterfly, resting upon the lip of a flower. Perhaps she will be that flower. Perhaps she will be the breeze in which that flower sways. But whatever form she takes, it will be whole and complete. With me gone, no more tragedies should take place. So please, take this sword and extinguish me. Put an end to this cycle of misery. I want you to be the one who does it. Please, kill me.
Oh, I have a feeling we're about to go up on a, that pause means there's about to be a decision. So, guys, while I save, do we want to kill her? I could be completely wrong. It could just be a pause. But, what are we feeling? Other than, wow, I hate this. Okay. I have no idea what llamas with hats is. This being the same vibe as anything named that, though, is amazing. So, all right, let's see. Oh, never mind. I have one answer. I can't.
I lied.
You're asking too much of me. Yes, I want to save Morgana's soul. But do you really have to die for that to happen? Is there not some other way? Won't you do this for me? I cannot. I could never take that sword. I know it's unfair of me to ask this of you, but I want it to be you. As selfish a request as it may be, I want the curtain drawn on this ersatz life by the man I admired so deeply.
You admired me?
Let's talk a little bit about that admiration, shall we? And where I got my physical appearance. This goes back to when I was mere particulate matter drifting about the house. While I still had no mind of my own at that point, I witnessed everything that took place within the house. And in the moment of your death, Michael, was I born.
You saw my death?
Your actions that day appeared to me as the very definition of selfless and honorable. Your life bore many similarities with Morgana's. You were both abused, imprisoned, called a witch. But while Morgana sought vengeance, you watched your own mother burn your crucified body, and you wished for release rather than revenge.
There's nothing honorable about that. Also, I'd like to point out there were some very key differences in Michael's life compared to Morgana's. So, like, let's back up a little bit here.
I had just lost all hope for myself. I expect you'll disagree with me, say that it was a sign of your weakness, but that was not how I interpreted it. Self sacrifice being one of the core characteristics Morgana gave to me, I was deeply moved. You didn't curse those who had wronged you in life, you chose your own destruction, and I admired that strength of spirit. That admiration helped to shape my wish, to determine the form I would take, the name I would have. That's why, whenever I gained a physical body, it was modeled after yours, with snow white hair and ruby red eyes. Why my name was always Michelle, after the same angel from whom you took yours.
I'm not. Yeah, as far as we know, Morgana never emasculated anyone. So, yeah, I somehow forgotten about that. Yeah, Morgana never took anyone's dick. So, also, Morgana didn't ever, I would argue, really know, like, love and care for another person. Like, she had moments of it in her life, you know, like with the brothel, and you could argue that, you know, Mel cared for her for a while, and Jacopo. But, like, from the moment that she was born, basically, she was used as a tool by her own mother and abused. Whereas Michael did actually have a fairly loving childhood. He was just, like, constrained in the gender binary. I don't know exactly what you would call that, but so I think, like, knowing that sort of and having that experience probably has shaped Michael a little bit differently from Morgana. Just a guess. Because I don't know that Morgana really ever experienced forgiveness from anyone.
I'm in no way worthy of anyone's admiration. My admiration caused both you and the woman you love a great deal of pain, and for that I apologize. But it also shows just how much I wanted to be like you. I would ask for you, if you would be so kind, to consider this a great favor for a starry-eyed little girl.
There's more red flags, like, popping up in the back of my mind. I'm pretty sure this has to be a trick.
A girl who quite literally idolized you to her very soul. I couldn't ask for a greater honor.
How can you tell me that?
Than to be erased from the world by you, my idol.
And then ask me to kill you?
Please, Michael, be the one to send me off.
I can't do it. Exactly. That did occur to me as I was reading that. If you really kill us that hard, then why are you a girl? Right? That's the big question here.
No matter how many times you ask, I can't kill someone who's told me they wanted to live. I know what it's like to wish for life.
I don't know if you've realized it yet, Michael, but this is the first time we've actually met. The story of the fourth door was Morgana's creation, which means that until now, we've never been in the same place while both aware of the other's presence. As far as you should be concerned, I'm a complete stranger, yet you still hesitate. I'm glad that you're reluctant, but you've shown me enough sympathy.
I don't consider you a stranger at all. Indeed, this is the first time we've formally met, but I've watched you go through so much. I've seen you live 3 different lives. I've seen the impact you had on the people behind all 3 of those doors. You are in no way a stranger.
With my erasure, Morgana's soul will eventually become whole again. Her curse and the eternal cycle of agony it brings will be no more. When I am gone, everything will return to its rightful place. I implore you to not hesitate any longer.
Are there really no other options? Is killing you really the only way to make things right? Michael, don't even consider that! Stop considering it! I don't like the turn the turn we've taken. There we go. I got this. I know English. Yeah, here's the thing. I have a Batman complex. I literally can't kill people. Look, canonically, we're like super weak. I don't know about whether or not we have a broken arm still. Also, aren't we like not physical at the moment? So how is she expecting us to pick up this sword? This feels fishy. To release everyone from this curse?
I'm delighted to have finally been able to meet you, the man after whom I modeled myself. I am incapable of taking my own life, Michael. God's teachings prohibit it, and as such, my identity as a saint prevents me from doing so.
No, I don't want you to commit suicide. I want to find some way for you to live, to remain a part of this world.
I know that by asking this of you, I'm causing you great heartache, and for that I offer you my sincerest apologies. But so long as I continue to exist in this world, Morgana can never truly have redemption. Tell me, who is it you've been fighting so hard to save?
That doesn't mean that I didn't want to save you too. I believed I could save everyone summoned to the mansion, that no one would have to suffer any more, that there would be no more tragedies.
Michael, take the sword, please.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I don't wanna. Oh, we're not even saying words anymore. I'm scared. We're gonna do it, aren't we?
Worry not, Michael. Doing this will allow you to save everyone. You'll cast off the darkness inhabiting the house, set all its prisoners free, give Morgana her salvation, and give me mine as well. Extinguishing my soul will be my salvation. I've had a full, satisfying life, even if every moment of it was rooted in iniquity. I had well beyond my share of happiness. I don't need any more. O Michael, namesake of the great Archangel Michael, and man of tremendous virtue, I ask of you to please draw this cycle of misfortune to an end, to take this blade and deliver everyone from their fates. It must be you, Michael.
Exactly. Here's the thing, Abby. We don't believe your explanation about the real cause and effect of killing you.
You must be the one to do this.
Don't make me do it. No! We're saving again. I hate this. If I just sit here for long enough, will it time out? Can I just not take the sword? I don't want to take the sword. I refuse to take the sword. Please don't make me take the sword. I don't think it's going to time out. Okay. I know, exactly. Like, I remember one of our options timing out quickly. It doesn't seem to be doing that this time. I don't know how long it's been, but it's not timing out nearly as quickly. There we go. If it doesn't time out, we just take the sword and refuse to use it. I still don't know how we're taking the sword if we don't have a physical body, but fine, we'll take the sword.
Thank you, Michael, for having the strength to do what must be done. And I apologize for putting you in such a difficult position. Once my soul has been erased, I will be gone from this world forever. I will not return, not in this or any other form. I feel no woe in that knowledge, though. I welcome my destruction with the utmost of joy. However, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, for you to keep just a little bit of me in a corner of your soul, Michael, to remember me, to remember the life I lived, that would make it all worthwhile. Thank you, Michael. You may very well be a genuine.
No.
The whiteness surrounding me evaporates, and I find myself back in the observation tower. I can still feel in my hand the impact of the sword piercing her breast.
Damn it. Why? Why couldn't have been there been some other way? Erasing a soul is not salvation. God damn it all. She deserved better. So much better than that. No. Now is not the time to grieve. There's work to be done. A girl to whom I must offer the chance for salvation. I mustn't cry over the white-haired girl's death now. There are things I need to take care of first. Morgana? There we go. You failed the test and killed me. And she just dies there.
Morgana stands there, staring off absently into the distance. After some time, she slowly turns to face me. What exactly was all that about? Come on, say something. Answer me. Morgana. How? It doesn't make any sense. He and the Lord, they couldn't. There were two different lords. One at the estate and the one who locked you in the tower. How?
What was he doing there? That's not. I didn't. The man I was trying to curse was the Lord who threw the blood sabbats. How did I. Are you saying I remember wrong? That's ridiculous. I won't hear it. I won't have it for a second.
You were in a very tenuous condition, Morgana. More than even you realize. You can't assume everything you saw in that state of mind to be true.
Why? Just. Why? That only makes it that much worse. Why would he do that? How could he kill me? He said he would show me the world. I cried for him. And he turns out to be the one pulling the strings?
You saw what led to this. You heard what he had to say for himself. Misunderstandings that went unresolved, that should have been cleared up immediately. What he did was wrong. Indefensible as far as I'm concerned. This all could have been avoided if he had told you everything. That said, Morgana, I can somewhat sympathize with how he felt then. You can sympathize with that monster? In what way? He loved you. Sincerely loved you. And to be the target of such vitriol from a girl he cared so dearly about, to be mistaken for someone else entirely, I can understand how that would have hurt.
Yeah, I'm sorry. His ego hurting does not really pay for the fact that he locked her in a fucking tower.
Sorry, Michael.
There we go. He even took me on a magic carpet ride. It doesn't matter. That doesn't change anything. Like I said before you started all this, it doesn't change anything. Does this revelation change what happened to me? Does it make me any less of a hate-filled witch? What does it matter if he had his reasons? What does it matter if he's not who I thought he was? It doesn't change the fact that I despise him with every fiber of my being. It's time to let go, Morgana. I met with the white-haired girl. I know her true nature. That's not me. You're right. I cannot definitively say that you and the white-haired girl are one and the same. However, I can say with certainty that she was a part of you. A creation of your broken spirit. The fact remains that she was closer to you than anyone else, in every sense of the word. Can you see the situation you're in, Morgana? The terrible, tragic irony of it all? You've cursed yourself along with everyone else. You brought ruin to a life of your own creation, numerous times. You murdered yourself. It's time to let go, Morgana. There's only pain to be found in continuing down this road. Morgana? I take a step toward her, and she steps back, quietly maintaining our distance. I can almost hear trembling in her voice as she says, "Stay back. You, stay away from me." You have nothing to be afraid of, Morgana. I won't hurt you. I said, stay back, you. I bet you think this is hilarious, that I'm blind and a fool. Morgana. Yes, good on you, my dear. You've revealed my biggest secret, that I'm a feeble-minded little girl with a poor memory. You've uncovered the truth of my death, discovered the white-haired girl's true identity. I always presumed she was you. How foolish of me. Laughing like I knew anything. Cursing the entirely wrong man. Absolutely brilliant, you might say. I've made myself into quite the laughingstock. I'm not going to laugh about your pain, Morgana. I've come to realize that perhaps I empathized with you out of more than just our shared loneliness. We were both yoked with unimaginable misfortune, lived our lives in lamentation of our fates. I understand your pain. That boat has long since sailed. You're right, it has. This is a realization that I should have come to much sooner. Though you said it wouldn't have mattered, I still should have made an effort to get to know you in life. I feel guilty about how I constantly pushed you away. So, I'd like to make up for that now. I approach Morgana, hands stretched out towards her. She stands there bewildered as I place them on her shoulders, pulling her in. Not for my own comfort, as I had so many times before, and not out of some pretend sense of pity for a sad pile of bones. I embrace her and all the pain and loneliness she holds inside. Her body gives off no warmth, and it's as weightless as the skeleton all those many years ago. She, like me, lost so much in life. But unlike me, she had no one there in her final moments. It's all right, Morgana. Everything's okay now. The tale behind the fourth door may have been a fabrication, but the creator's soul is always somewhere to be found in her creations. Knowing the inseparable link between her and the white-haired girl, that's where I'll find what I'm looking for. I'm here for you. You're not alone, Morgana. We can end all this suffering together. It's going to be okay. What's wrong with you? Have you completely lost it? Do I need to remind you of everything I've done? Of all the pain I've caused you? No reminders necessary. You did quite a number on me indeed. Then do you want to tell me how we went from that to you holding me. You didn't do what you did out of a particular grudge against me. Of that much, I was always certain. So I hold nothing against you. I bear no ill will, nor, I'm certain, does Giselle. You're much too forgiving. I imagine there's something about having experienced the kind of pain we have that makes it hard to harbor any ill will towards one of our kind. Shared trauma or not, you and that woman really are something. God, there are no words for how much you irritate me. The bite slowly drains from Morgana's voice, and in the quiet, I think I hear a muffled attempt to hold back a whimper. I pull away slightly, putting a hand under her chin and lifting her head. She quickly averts her eyes, but doesn't knock my hands away as I reach them into her hood, gently setting them against her cheeks. I run my fingers across the exposed flesh, then slowly pull back the hood covering her face. Well, look at that. You're quite pretty without your face hidden. I didn't think you were the flattering type. I assure you I'm not. Go on, touch your cheeks. Now this is the girl you were always meant to be. If Morgana had had a less harrowing life, this is probably what she would have looked like at 16. You know, you look a little like the white-haired girl. We look nothing alike. I can assure you of that. She was the very antithesis of me. But she was also once a part of you. The last thing I want is to be like her in any way. And why is that? Because I never liked that girl at all. Always putting others before herself. Just watching her was aggravating. Although, in retrospect, she was everything about myself I deemed unnecessary. So that might explain why it was so hard to watch. Also, I was so sure she was you, which made it all the more frustrating. Why would her being me bother you so much? Because that wasn't you. You're aggressive, you yell, you fight. Is that how she saw me? How wouldn't it bother me that you came back as a quiet, passive, subservient girl? Of course, now that I know it wasn't you, so... You were that sure it was me, despite thinking we were nothing alike? Apparently so. Hold on a second. Why would that bother you? I'll let you figure that one out. It's not important. So, you've got my attention. What are you planning to do now? To leave the mansion with you. To set everyone free and break the curse. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking, is that she had a little teenage crush. Setting them free will set you free as well. To be fair, I assume that no one for a very long time has fought for her as hard as we have, so... So you want me to release their souls? Exactly. Just so you know, I haven't forgiven them. My hatred isn't going to just vanish like it was nothing. I'll never be able to forgive them completely. But you're right. This has gone on long enough. Morgana, I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore. And it's all your fault. So, sure, I'll release their souls. I'm so glad to hear it. However, I don't want to see them alone. I'm not sure I'll be able to set them free if I have to face them on my own. That won't be a problem. I'll go with you. We'll go see them together. You get to be my guide this time, then. Get to take up Giselle's old mantle. That I do.
Even if it means taking this hand?
You honestly think I have any reservations about that?
God, I swear. You really are the worst. Lead the way, my dear. To where their souls wait.
Yeah, speaking of Giselle, where is she? Is she waiting with the other souls? Like, she just hanging out?
Hand in hand, we travel the cursed mansion's corridors. The halls overflow with darkness, cut off from the sun and devoid of color. Despite having spent much time in this place, it's never stopped being depressingly gloomy.
No one, for any reason, should be
Left behind in a place like this. We cross through the living room, making our way to the back garden door. There are no children laughing beyond the door, but I can faintly smell flowers. Michael, what am I supposed to say to them?
If nothing comes to mind, you don't have to say anything. I get the feeling they'll have something to say to you, though. So, if you would, try to hear them out.
I'm not looking forward to this.
It'll go fine, I promise. Nothing that happens could possibly make things worse than they already are. The only way to go from here is up. So up we go.
Let's go then, I suppose.
Everyone else got to apologize to Morgana, so does Morgana now have to apologize to everyone?
A hollow breeze brushes through the gray-filled rose garden. The shadow standing there turns toward us. It gradually starts looking more and more like the young man it once was. Morgana?
It's okay. We're here to free your soul.
Michael.
You forgive me for what I did, Morgana?
No, I don't. All this means is that I'm done cursing you. Either way, thank you. I know what I'm doing here now. Or I guess I remember what I'm doing here. I deserve to be cursed after everything I've done to you. It can't have been easy, that's for sure. I'm sorry for all the pain I caused. What's done is done. I guess. Still, I wasn't lying when I said I wanted to be friends. I meant it. I really did. I know now why you did what you did. Why you sold me out. Some people might say you had no other choice, but as the girl you actually sold out, those are words you'll never hear from my lips. Fair enough. Nonetheless, objectively speaking, you too were a victim. Do you not resent me for punishing you in spite of that? Huh? I presume you're now able to recall everything, both your first life and the second one I subjected you to, when the house was called Rose Manor? Yeah. What happened then was the result of my wish. You have every right to despise me. The way I see it, with or without your curse, Nellie would still have had the same feelings for me. It was my fault for being too dense to realize she thought of me as more than a brother. Things would have turned out the way they did regardless. The white-haired girl was the spark that set her off, though, and it was because of me that she ended up at that mansion. My wish was to see your life utterly ruined, and in service of that desire, the white-haired girl was born into that era as your half-sister. So I disagree. My curse did play a significant role in your fate. Regardless, I don't feel like it would be right of me to blame you. Things turned out the way they did, because I was weak and ran from the problem instead of facing it. Michelle wouldn't have had to get hurt either, if only I'd had more of a spine. I guess calling her Michelle is kind of confusing with Michael here, huh? How should I refer to her then? Girl Michelle, maybe?
Creativity is not your strong suit, is it? She wouldn't happen to be around, would she? She's departed from this world. Or perhaps it would be better to say she's returned to her rightful place in it. The girl you knew as Michelle is gone forever.
Exactly. Call her Abby. See, we thought ahead and mispronounced it in the first place, so we don't have a problem calling her Michelle. She can be Michelle. But we called her Abby for so long, she's Abby.
Uh, that's too bad. I was hoping I could apologize to her, too.
I believe you've made your feelings quite clear.
Not that she would hold it against you if you didn't apologize. That's simply her nature. Oh, well, Morgana, I'm so sorry for everything. I am going to free your soul from the bonds of this cursed mansion, after which it should return to its rightful place. Okay. But before that, I've got one last thing I'd like to say. To you, Michael.
To me?
It was a little hazy, but I did kind of get to see what you were up to until just a little bit ago. If you hadn't done what you did for me, for Nellie, for Morgana, for everyone, I'm not sure I would have been able to work up the guts to apologize. I'm pretty sure I would have still been convinced I wasn't at fault. It may not have been real, but your effort wasn't in vain. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I guess this is goodbye. Farewell, Mel. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate.
Goodbye, Morgana.
You don't have to tell me that he wasn't a bad person. But bad people aren't the only ones who do bad things.
That's true, yes.
But having a conscience can be a double-edged sword. The regret so overwhelming you don't want to believe you could do something so awful that some outside force must be to blame. So I hope you're willing to accept at least part of his apology. Lead the way, my dear, to where the next soul waits.
Are we really going to have a in-depth conversation with Yukimasa and Jacopo? Jacopo, I can see where we're going to have a conversation. Yukimasa, I can't imagine this is going to be effective in really any way, shape, or form. But guess we have to do it. Down to the cellar.
The staircase leading to the cellar is quiet, the air still. No sounds of flesh being devoured, no stench of blood. Just darkness reaching ever downward. I'm going to have to ask you to go in first this time.
I don't mind. But why?
I'd rather not be skewered.
It'll be fine, I'm sure. I doubt he'll attack.
I can't say I'm anywhere near as confident as you. So you get to be my meat shield should anything go wrong.
I love, sassy Morgana. So that's what I am to her.
We may not have bodies, but we are still capable of feeling pain.
You don't have to remind me.
I have to say, I'm surprised you actually made it to the top of the tower.
Is that supposed to be a compliment?
Half and half. Regardless, don't assume you're safe just because you're already dead. If he were to attack and destroy your soul, you would be erased for all eternity. There would be no coming back in any shape or form, after any amount of time. Just something to keep in mind.
I'm not worried. We shouldn't have any trouble talking to him.
If you say so. Then off we go.
Yes, we're going by Dragon Ball Z rules of the afterlife.
I push open the cellar door. Behind it, a shadow of a man sits on the floor, leaning against a stack of boxes. He slowly rises to his feet upon hearing us enter, and as he does, the blackness dissolves away, revealing the man.
I almost didn't recognize you. Your face, it's
Not how I remember.
It's back to normal.
I see. So, you weren't a witch. You were a pretty human girl. You look a little like the blind girl.
No, I do not. Not one bit. If anything, he looks far more like her than I. White hair, red eyes. They even have almost the same name.
I think comparing her to a large, dour-looking man is a bit disrespectful. Don't pretend you look any more approachable. I love how Yukimasa's just throwing barbs like that.
He's not even half the man you think he is.
Was that really necessary, Morgana? He is a man. He's indisputably a man, no matter what reason you have to claim otherwise. Actually, can angels be male or female? Can you please cut it out with the angel thing already? So, what brings you two down here?
We're here to free your soul.
You're forgiving me?
Absolutely not. However, I've decided there's no point in punishing you any further.
I see.
You are, in no uncertain terms, one of the most evil men I have ever encountered.
I can hardly argue with that.
Should you so desire, I can eradicate you.
Morgana, what are you...
Let me finish, Michael. Instead of letting your soul return, I can erase it. Your existence is a scar on the world. The allure of killing is too strong for you to resist. Even without my curse, you would bring pain and misfortune on others.
You're right, and that would probably be for the best. The world would be better off without me. And I know that. I do. But I don't want to disappear.
As you wish. Then I will release your soul.
Before I go, allow me to burn this into my soul. You must resist temptation if you are to blend in. So in my next life, I won't be a killer.
I suppose it's worth trying. Do your best.
I will.
Farewell, Yukimasa. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate.
Farewell, Morgana. Yeah, Yukimasa may be a violent murderer, but at least he says trans rights, so, you know. Bare minimum. Bare minimum of humanity.
He's not the only one who derived pleasure from others' pain.
Morgana.
It's strange. Setting them free, I both feel like a weight's been lifted, and like I'm the greatest villain of them all.
Perhaps by forgiving them, you can come to forgive yourself.
But if I forgive them, what does that make everything I've done up to now?
The first step toward moving on.
Could you forgive those who wronged you then? The woman who tormented you? Your brother who made a mockery of you? Your eldest brother who took your life? Your mother, so unwilling to accept you that she burned you at the stake? The villagers who falsely accused you of being a witch? Your father who raped the woman you love? Could you forgive them?
If they were willing to repent.
And if they weren't? What if they showed up intent on causing you more pain?
Then I
suppose I'm not acting much better than any of them right now. Let's go. We have one more soul to free.
Yeah, damn, I'm a hypocrite. Look, she at least sees it. We don't have to point it out to her, so that's something. Girl had a whole character arc, despite the fact she spent like maybe 20 minutes on screen.
There's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Hmm?
Is Giselle really there with you? Because I can't sense her at all.
That's probably not a good sign.
If she were in the mansion, I would know. But I can't feel her presence anywhere. Be honest with me.
You can't feel her either, can you?
I.
Are you sure her soul hasn't extinguished?
She's here. I'm certain of it. Lost somewhere deep in the mansion's darkness. Once we've purged that darkness, she should be free to return. I have faith in her.
I see. Well, I'm not sure how much this means coming from me, but I hope you see her again.
I will. And thank you.
I'm actually rather fond of her, Giselle. Although, I suppose it's hard not to get a little attached to someone you've spent several hundred years with.
Just attached? Giselle, she's fairly fond of you herself.
I can only hope.
So what I'm hearing is we all go back to life. We adopt Morgana as our little fucked up daughter, and marry Giselle, and there we go. We're set for life. Like Morgana should join us with Giselle. I've laid out the whole groundwork. The smell of cigarette smoke seeps through the cracks in the den door. It's perfectly quiet behind it, however. No chatter or clacking of billiards balls. Morgana appears slightly reluctant to step through the door. Or perhaps she's tense? Shall we? Her hand in mine, I push open the door. A shadow is perched on the edge of a dark green, rectangular table. He freezes for a moment when he hears us enter, quickly finding his composure and marching toward us, determination in his step. The shadows dissolve, revealing the man. Morgana, your face, it healed.
It did.
It's been a long time coming. And would you look at that? Not a letdown. Okay, way creepier knowing that you're like in your 30s now. Like, I don't like that. Was it him that healed you?
Yes, it was him.
Well, I'll be. I was always hoping I'd be the one to have the honor. Well, you locked her in a tower, so. Sorry, man.
You lost that qualification when you...
Yeah, I know. I'm the one who made you into the witch. The one who killed you. I don't expect or deserve your forgiveness. I'd still like a chance to make amends, in any way you wish, even if it means being cursed for all eternity.
I'm here to release your soul. Once that's done, that's it from me. No curses, no forgiveness. Nothing.
Huh. So you're cutting ties completely. Damn.
Truthfully, I had no idea how you felt about me. But that ship sailed long ago. Far, far too long ago.
I know.
Nothing can change how I feel about you. Not anymore.
I bet.
I'm going to release your soul now.
Could you hold off on that a moment? I don't expect you to reciprocate or even accept. But if I don't put my feelings into words, I'll never get them through to you. I think that's how she put it anyway. So I ask for this one last chance to put them into words. Morgana?
Fine.
When he said when she said, do you think Giselle, when she lost, contact with us, has now been coaching these guys for this moment? I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional and I want to hear Giselle again.
The girl with the white hair. My wife.
Michelle? What of her?
Something about that name always felt off to me. I could never shake the feeling that calling her that was somehow wrong. When I first saw her, first saw that smile, I was dead certain that she was what had always been missing from my life. That I had finally found what I'd been searching for. And now, I know why. Because I felt you in her. The memories of you ingrained on my soul. You should know better than anyone that we're nothing alike. That girl wouldn't say anything remotely impolite even if you held a knife to her throat.
You're right. You're nothing alike.
But you've both got this aura about you that drew me in. Your soul's aura. I loved you dearly, Morgana. I've got no right to ask anything of you, I know. But could you maybe smile for me? Just once is all I ask. I can't do it. I should. I know I should. That it would let us end things on a nice note. But I can't force myself to smile. It wouldn't be fair.
Yeah. I guess you're right. To be fair, he had a lot of balls to ask that. Like, I get it. Like, it's free for her, whatever. But also, really? Like, really?
Sorry for putting you in that position. I've said my piece. I'm ready now. Okay. Very well then. Farewell, Jacopo. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Goodbye, Morgana.
You couldn't have done anything more for him? She doesn't have to, Michael. Like, piss off. Yeah, psych, I'm sending your soul to hell.
Such as? I won't deny that my feelings about him are complicated. But the things he did to me, they eclipse all that. Merely learning the truth, hearing how he felt, is nowhere near enough to erase that.
Couldn't you at least put a little hope in your next lives? That maybe you two could try again?
No, I can't. I don't want to encounter him again. Ever.
Then if nothing else, could you try not to forget that he did save you once?
I suppose. Though my salvation, Michael, was not ultimately at his hands. I was watching to the very end. It may all have been an illusion, constructed from the memories of everyone's souls. But that didn't make your actions any less real. The things you said to me, your earnest desperation, learning the truth is only partly why I decided to release their souls. The biggest reason, however, was seeing how far you went for me. If you hadn't been there for my death, if you hadn't done what you did, then I would not have freed them. Oh. Nonetheless, is it unfair of me to wish you'd shown him that smile instead, Morgana?
Yeah, it is. Thank you for asking.
Well, that's the last of them. Shall we be off now? The front door should open now that I'm not willing to it closed any longer. Shall we take our leave of this house?
I think we're about to come up on a choice. Let's go where there's one more stop to make, and I'm gonna save while you decide what we want to do. Do we have a stop to save or an additional stop to make or not? One more stop, Giselle.
There's still one more soul that needs releasing. Be my guide.
Technically, isn't there still the thing in the painter in the paint, the guy in the painting that we talked to like once?
Still holding my Morgana's hand, I make my way to the wall, where the landscape painting hangs. There we go. Yeah, this guy. I don't know who this guy is. I assume he's important somehow. You told me to come back if I ever figured out your name. George. Oh. Oh. This is our brother. Yeah, you. Ah. Hey, Michael. Hello. How'd you figure out it was me? Of course I'd recognize my own brother. Well, granted, I didn't recognize you at first. It's not every day your big bro winds up as a painting, huh? It came as quite the surprise when I finally made the connection. I'll bet it did. Hold on a minute. You two are brothers? I assumed you knew. Oh, hello there. Quite the companion you've got there, Michael. So, what brings you two to my little corner of the house? I've decided I'm going to extinguish the mansion. Oh, really? Well, isn't that something? You act like I just told you what I'm having for supper. This place is going to disappear. Forever. Well, yeah, sure, but what brought about this? I've lost interest in cursing them. Ah, now that's some good news. You seem to get along surprisingly well with her. Time out the hoo-ha, and nobody else to talk to will do that to you. Not that she ever gave me the time of day much. You expect me to stand here and listen to you yammer on for hours on end? The only thing you're good for is tossing rubbish into. Wait, so she was the one who put the master bedroom key in the painting? That she was. Just tossed her right in without even asking. Why would you get rid of the key to my room? I had no use for it. And being in that room always made me uncomfortable. It has this terrible warmth to it. I couldn't stand it. Oh. Sure glad she only tossed the key, though. Would have been bad if she'd thrown me out with it. I didn't see the need. I did find it curious there was a soul here I hadn't summoned, but you were ultimately harmless. So I simply pretended you weren't there. So she ignored him for hundreds of years? I understand now what you meant, Michael, when you said this world didn't belong to only me. Your brother was able to find his way here because it's a place deeply bound to your soul. I'm no expert on none of this spiritual stuff. All I know is one day I was just here and full of regret. So if I had to guess, I'd say I probably ended up here because I wanted to be somewhere I could feel you, Michael. George. Would you be so kind as to let me apologize? I know quite well how sorry you are. And you've already apologized once, besides. I went years not seeing you, not hearing from you, not having any idea what you thought about me. So when I got that painting, it was a huge blow to me emotionally. But talking to you again has reminded me what kind of person you really are, George. You didn't mean to hurt me. Nope. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. Mom said paint it, so I painted it. And when she told me she'd sent it off to you, I really didn't think anything of it. It never even crossed my mind to think about how you felt out there, all alone. The kind of pain you were going through just because of the way you were born. Oh, it's absolutely hilarious that our brother was in this hell with Morgana for centuries, and she just didn't know what to do with him beyond using him as a garbage bin. To be fair, he seemed to be like life of the party kind of person, so this may have actually been his personal hell to be used as nothing more than a garbage bin. When you're not the one on the receiving end, it's easy to be completely blind to your own actions. It never even occurred to me that we'd essentially exiled you, Michael. Not until it was all over. Really, all I can say is sorry you got stuck with such a dope for a brother. All I had to do was think about it for 2 seconds, and I would have realized what we were doing. And at the time I thought, what's it matter if you're a guy or a girl? You're still you. But I was wrong. It's not that simple. I can only imagine someone coming up to me one day and saying, nah, you're actually a girl, and everyone I care about suddenly not wanting anything to do with me. What a drag that'd be. I'm real sorry, bro. It's okay, George. I forgive you.
Thanks.
I wanted so badly to see you and Didier again, George.
And while I didn't get that chance in life,
I'm still glad to have the opportunity to talk to you now.
to hear the things you never got to say,
It pains me to see you reduced to
this form,
but knowing that it's a result of overwhelming regret,
that you were just that desperate to find me again,
it warms my heart.
Mm-mm. What on earth was that? Me trying my damnedest not to burst into tears. I don't think it worked very well, though. Does the canvas look wet? Could you feel it for me? I think I'll pass. Not feeling up for my brotherly love.
Honestly, I'm relieved to see you the same George I always knew.
Changing ain't really my thing after all.
I suppose it isn't. This doesn't sit right with me.
What? Why not?
You're letting him off the hook far too easily, Michael. I know very well just how much pain that painting caused you. It might as well have been what resurrected me.
I've moved past that, though.
Make him pay for what he did. Scribble on him.
Yes, do it. Do what?
Scrawl your anger all over that ridiculous painting.
But I'm not angry. Now that's a damn fine idea if I ever heard one. You most definitely need to make me pay, Michael.
George?
Go on, hit me with everything you got. Scribble away. Even if I wanted to, I have nothing to draw with. Just use your finger and I'll trace it out for you. Come on, what are you waiting for? He really wants me to draw on him, doesn't he?
He more than deserves it, Michael.
Bring it on, Michael. This conversation got bizarre fast. Okay. I'll draw on you. Oh my.
Now that is downright ghastly.
What?
You might actually have potential, Michael. Voodoo dolls are the last thing I expected from you.
4 of them at that.
And a demonic being alongside them?
Oh, I can just feel your burning rancor, Michael. That's not what I drew at all. What? Then what is it? It's not important. Now that that's finished, I think it's time we all took our leave. Oh, can I come too? Well, I might need a little help with that, Michael. As you can see, walking ain't one of my talents. That's all right. I'll carry you. Careful taking me off my hook.
By all means, feel free to drop him, Michael. I must say, that is a rather amusing sight.
It's definitely not every day you get to see a full-grown man turn painting being hauled down a spooky hall by his little bro. Yeah, it's not a naked lady, it's just a bunch of squiggly lines. George.
It does make me wonder, though. Are you two really brothers? I have a hard time believing you share even a drop of blood with this obnoxious lout, Michael.
We are brothers. Right, George? Whoa, don't you start questioning it too, Michael. We are absolutely, positively, 100% brothers. She has a good point, though. We don't even look that much alike. No shocking family plot twists here. I've known you since you were a baby, Michael. Maybe you were secretly illegitimate, George, not me. You're not going to let go of this, are you? I'm just playing with you.
Oh my God. You just laughed.
Yes. What? I didn't get to see it. What was it like? Give me all the details.
An ordinary laugh.
Is the world ending? It's not that big a deal. I laugh just like everyone else.
No, you most certainly do not.
Nope, you definitely don't. Well, so much for my tearful reunion with the brother I always knew and loved. Anyway, since we're breaking character here, how about one from our favorite witch, too? And no cackling, that doesn't count.
Excuse me? Why would you want me to...
'Cause every time I've seen you smile, it's never been about anything good.
Plus, now that you got your face back, you're actually quite the looker. Go on, give me a big ol' grin. Not happening. Come on. Okay, fine. If you don't want to do it for me, pretend it's for Michael.
What do I have to do with anything?
You can do it for old Michael, can't you? Show him those pearly whites, girly. Oh, if you insist, I suppose I can smile for Michael, but only him. Excuse me, was that supposed to be my voice? Because I do not sound anything like that. Look at you all puffing your cheeks and red in the face.
George, try not to tease her too much.
I don't know how anyone can stand you. It's like every word that comes out of your mouth exists solely to ruin the mood.
You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt to lighten up a bit. This is the end of a long journey, but that doesn't mean we have to make it a somber and uptight affair. Exactly, we should have had George around the whole story, just heckling everything.
I am genuinely not sure how I feel about you, the most somberly uptight man I know, telling me to lighten up.
She's got a point, but I'm not that bad, am I?
Anyway, shall we be off now? That we shall. The witch and her band of merry men departs. I'm not sure if one person in a talking painting constitutes a band. Giselle, I know we'll find each other again. I have faith we will. We'll cast away this mansion's darkness, and then I'll await your return, no matter how long it takes. Yeah, I think it's time we took our leave. Having finished what we set out to do,
And retrieve George as well.
we make our way to the mansion's entrance hall. The large door stands there, firmly shut, holding in the darkness as it has for countless generations.
There we go. In the house in Fata Morgana 2, the search for Giselle.
But that time is almost at an end. The door ready to be opened, to end the cycle and begin anew.
Being a painting for all these years, I never realized just how big a place this was. All I ever got to see was a hallway and like maybe a couple of doors. I mean, talk about dull, you know? Feels like I'm on an adventure, exploring a whole new world. A very, very dark world.
Michael, would you mind shutting him up?
If only it were that simple. Can you blame me for being talkative? It was a lonely life.
That would be fine if you had any concept of the appropriate time and place to be chatty. Are you aware of where we are right now?
The entrance, by the looks of things.
Precisely. The end to a centuries-long act of vengeance is but a few feet beyond that door. And you're chatting away like it's another day at the court. Try to maintain at least a semblance of gravity, if you would.
I'm starting to notice you're rather ceremonious, aren't you, Morgana? This is a day to be celebrated, not to be all stiff and no fun allowed.
Are you not at all worried? There's no guarantee any hope lies beyond that door. After all, when the mansion disappears, so too will we. And that is the rightful state of things. Our present forms may cease to exist, but our souls will live on. And so long as they do, we will eventually return to the world. Let us press onward, not fearing a temporary end.
Well said, Michael. If I had feet, you'd have just swept me right off them. George, I'm beginning to wonder what would happen if I threw you at the wall. Now, let's not do anything hasty.
Oh, for God's sake. You're the guide, so let's go then, shall we? Morgana's right.
There's a severe lack of gravity to the affair. But thanks to George's lackadaisical nature, whatever fear I had is gone as well. His ever-playful interactions bring me back to when I was alive, to when it was me and my two brothers. Fond memories of the times we had together, of the admiration I had for them, of me chasing after them. Nothing could possibly replace those days, and I'm glad I had a chance to reflect on them, if briefly, before the end. I take a few steps forward, stopping just in front of the door, and Morgana steps up beside me. I envision the light that lies beyond it, radiant and white, waiting to rip through the darkness.
the light we seek, that we've long sought. I take in a deep breath, look up at the door, place my hand on its hard surface, and push it open, welcoming the future it holds. Burn the witch. What? Oh shit. Crucify the impure. We take one step back, then another. What we find outside is not a blinding realm of light, but churning blackness and the stench of blood and rust. Metal clanks, growing louder with each heavy footstep of the approaching night.
Didier? Oh, shit.
Death to the unholy. 3 days and 3 nights hanged upon the cross, purified by the fires of heaven. Death. What's going on? I never summoned this thing. Even though we're no longer holding hands, I can feel Morgana trembling. She's no longer the witch, the once absolute ruler of this domain, but a frightened young girl. Placing my arm around her shoulders and pulling her in, I stare, half dumbfounded at the night. It is our holy duty, as knights of the church, to deliver punishment unto the heathen, who made a pact with the devil. The night draws nearer and nearer, its movement sluggish but constant. Didier.
Wait, for real?
Crucify the witch. Cast judgment upon the demon. The word witch, coming from the delirious, vengeful phantom's mouth, proves far more distressful for Morgana than me.
Whoa, hold on. What's Dee doing here?
Please come to your senses, Didier. I know it's you. Judgment, crucifixion, execution. No, I'm not a witch. The night is partially occluded by the dark, writhing miasma enveloping him, but he bears the same muscular build as the Didier I knew in life. And he's unwaveringly determined to see us executed. Didier, this is not how I had hoped our reunion would go, Didier.
Exactly. This is why George is our favorite brother.
Why? After so very long, is this how the three of us find each other again? Images flash through my mind. The day I left the Bullinger estate, when Didier promised me we would one day meet again. Them each giving me a hug before I climbed into the carriage. First Didier, then Georges. Is this my fault? Is he here because I wish to be reunited with my brothers? Is this the way fate chose to grant that wish? Burn the witch.
Well, look at that. Guess I'm not your only blockheaded brother, huh?
Georges?
Before you get any bright ideas, Michael, it's not your fault our long-awaited family reunion didn't quite go as planned. Just like me. Dee cursed himself. Only it seems his was a whole lot more powerful. God, I really didn't pay a lick of attention to either of you, did I?
The unclean witch must be purified from this world. It is my duty.
Hey, Dee, you in there? I shoved a whole lot of crap onto your plate. Keeping up with the family name, taking care of Mom, just about everything I could leave to you, I did.
I must uphold the honor of the family name.
And then when it was all over, I blamed you for killing our little brother. I was convinced that you could do anything, that you were stronger than anyone.
Crucify the witch.
I'm sorry, Dee.
Burn the witch. He continues his plodding march forward, seemingly unaffected. It's impossible to tell if George's words are getting through to him. Stop, Didier. Please. And my words don't seem to be either. Didier! He's closing in on us, and we're running out of space to retreat.
All right, Dee. If that's how it's got to be. But just this once, okay?
The knight takes another heavy, merciless step toward us. The exit's right there, but we're backed up against the wall. The end was almost within our grasp, yet it seems so hopelessly far away now. Please, Didier, don't do this. I know you don't actually want to hurt anyone. Didier! The knight raises his sword, thrusting it forward with a sharp whoosh. Death!
Oh no!
But then, breaking free of my grasp, the painting leaps into the air. Georges! I'm really sorry. You got stuck with a pair of dolts for brothers. Georges! The next second, my eldest brother's blade pierces Georges. Georges! Georges! His form wavers momentarily before fading into the darkness, his voice lingering behind. Don't worry about me, Michael. I got my share of redemption already. I know we can be a bit of a pain, but do for D what you did for me, would ya? Now go on, call out to him. Suck in a big ol' breath and call out to our brother with everything you got. Georges! Look, George was absolutely the best part of this entire thing, and I'm only so sad that he is gone, and we won't get any more of his banter. It is my duty to punish the impure. To uphold the Bollinger name. Didier! Despite having already stabbed George, the knight continues his march. Blade pointed straight at me. I clench my teeth and glare at my eldest brother. Running is out of the question. This doesn't have to go on any longer. It is my duty as the eldest son. You deserve to be freed from your bonds as well. Be gone from this world. Didier! I shout his name with every ounce of air in my lungs. His eyes go wide, and his blade swerves off course, missing my heart. And piercing my gut instead. Oh, that's probably not any better, honestly. There's some vital organs in there. Didier, it's okay. You can let go now. It's not your responsibility anymore. Yeah, Morgana, got any blood to spare? You have no duty to anything anymore. Didier! I reach a hand out for my brother. Blood spills from the hole in my abdomen in rhythmic spurts, and I can feel something hot rising in my throat. But that doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop my hand crawling through the air toward him. He's my brother. I have to do whatever I can for him. Free him. Bring him back. Didier, there's nothing here in need of your judgment. With shaking fingers, I clasp my brother's arm. I squeeze, holding on with what vigor remains, and give another shout. Look me in the eyes, Didier. Please. Hear my voice. Hear your brother's voice. I can't stand to lose anyone else. If you don't come to your senses, then Georges' sacrifice will have been in vain. It's time for you to break free. For all three of us to be free of the curses we placed on ourselves. Didier, please. I hear a sound that's somewhere between a grunt and a gasp. My vision's gone blurry, so I blink hard several times, clearing my eyes to get a better look at him. Didier. I see his face, twisted in anguish. Michael. Didier. Oh, thank goodness. You heard my voice. Did I do this to you, Michael? It's nothing. I've made the same terrible mistake once more. Didier, I caused you harm, attempted to take your life. It's all right, Didier. Michael, release yourself from the chains that bind you. But those aren't your duties anymore. You don't have to protect the family name or uphold the order's standards. You can do as you wish. Uh, uh, Punish me for my wrongdoing. Please, Michael, punish me. Didier, cast judgment upon me. It's all in the past. Judgment is not necessary for anyone. That doesn't change what I did. I killed you. I hanged you from a cross. I must be made to pay for my sins. Punish me, Michael. I implore you. Didier. I think I know now why you never removed your helm that day, why you remained silent for the whole ordeal. Michael, you were crying, weren't you? Weeping for me. Your tears are atonement enough for me. Michael, you bore a great deal of responsibility in life. As the Bollingers' firstborn, you were obligated to protect the family's honor. And as a knight of the church, you were tasked with the duty of my execution. You had no other choice. I sincerely believe there was nothing else you could have done. I bear no grudge against you, no resentment for the decisions you were forced to make. And I certainly don't curse you. Let's just forget it all. It's long over and done. Still, it was a mistake I never should have made. I took the life of the purest soul I know. There is no honor in that. Didier, I put protecting the family name above protecting my actual family. You trusted me. You believed in me to the very end, and I killed you. I knew what I was doing. I knew you weren't cursed. I knew you weren't a witch. I knew you weren't a demon child. You were never unclean. You're my brother, your family. And I robbed you of your life. There's no one in this world more unfit to be a knight than me. You don't have to be a knight anymore. You don't have to be the Bollingers' firstborn son. Deciding not to wear those labels won't make you any less the brother I always loved. I'm honored to have been born into the same family as you. Michael, there's something I never had the chance to tell you, Didier. All my life, I looked up to you, admired you, and I still do, even now. Uh, uh, if there's a next life awaiting us, I hope we can be brothers again, Didier. Would you mind if I wished for that? No, no, of course not. Please do. And I hope you'll allow me to wish for the same. I love you, Michael, my dear little brother. Upon those words, Didier's phantom begins fading away. A white mist that looks almost like it's made of undulating particles of light rises up around him. And before he's completely enveloped, I catch a glimpse of the tears streaking his cheeks. It's the first time I've ever seen him crying. I attempt to give him a smile in return, but if I were to guess, I'd say it probably looks rather forced. The fact that I'm fighting back tears at the same time certainly isn't doing anything to make it convincing. Before he's completely faded away, I wrap my arms around my brother's shoulders, much like he did for me on the day of my exile. Not as an eternal farewell, but as a promise that we'll meet again. Didier, Georges. Right now, in this moment, I have no regrets about having been born a Bollinger. All I have is great pride. So I pray that one day, be it 10 or 1,000 years from now, the three of us can be reunited. I've got a number of things going through my mind right now. Morgana. I'm just not sure how to put any of it into words. Don't worry. Those words say everything. You can you can cry if you want. I won't mock you, I promise. No, I won't cry. I'll save my tears for our reunion. Oh, that painting. It didn't have to get itself destroyed. He'll be fine, I'm sure. I have faith. And as you know quite well, wishes do come true. Would you mind giving me a hand, Morgana? Yeah, I thought this story was about me. What the hell just happened? I'm going to need a little help getting back up. Girl, you still have another hand. Why are you using the skeleton hand for everything? After a moment's pause, she hesitantly extends her fleshless hand. I clasp the bones and with her aid pull myself to my feet. Blood spurts from my gut as I do. There's not much in the way of pain, strangely, only creeping exhaustion. I feel like my legs will give out if I so much as give them the chance. Leaning on Morgana, we make our way back to the entrance. You're you're not going to disappear, are you? Don't worry, Morgana. I won't disappear. All right. Let's open the door. Together. Bring light into this world of darkness. Move forward. Start anew. Brighter. Let's. I take in a deep breath. Look up at the door. My eyes on the future. It's time to open the door. Not to an ending, but the door to a new beginning. May the world that awaits us be filled with light. Immersed in near blinding light, we press onward. It's white in all directions, not the tiniest speck of color to contaminate it. In fact, the concept of direction doesn't seem to exist in this world. Only pure, never-ending white. Actually, no. That's not right now that I consider it. I was thinking of white as an absence of color, but white, the color, fills this plane. It's all it's all disappearing. We made the right choice, didn't we? Yes. This is how it is meant to be. You're a rather impressive man, I hope you realize. Not only did you free 3 trapped souls, you also saved your brother. I didn't do any of that alone. Without help, I doubt I would have made it this far. I would have shattered yet again, until nothing was left. And Giselle gave you that strength? She did. So what? You're going to wait here for her? I am. In that condition? I won't let myself disappear before she's made it back. Do you remember the warning I gave you in the mansion? About how if a soul is damaged and destroyed, it's wholly and utterly erased from existence? Never to return in any shape or form? If you lose much more blood, that's what will happen to you. You'll be erased forever. Don't worry. I won't let that happen. You pushed yourself too hard, Michael. I feel like you're hurt in some way almost every time I see you. Though I suppose about half of that would be my doing. You may have caused me some pain, but I also wouldn't be here without you. What? I mean it. If you say so. Besides, I've practically only ever seen you hurt, too. I suppose so. Whatever form your soul may assume in your next life, I'll be praying there's far less pain in it for you. This is why I'll never get along with you. Always concerned about others. Can I ask you something? Hmm? If you were to be born again, would you want it to be in a fully male body? That's what I've always wanted. So yes, I would. And your next life, if you have one, do you want to see Giselle again? Absolutely, I do. And what if you could only have one or the other? Which would you choose? Do you even need to ask? No, I suppose not. You know, I'm neither a witch nor a saint, just an ordinary powerless soul now. So my wishes aren't likely to cause any more miracles. But I think I'll wish for something anyway.
For what?
Not telling. Well, I'll be off then.
Apparently, she does not want to wait for her with us.
All right.
I didn't think it would be so difficult to come up with parting words.
You can say whatever you like. The first thing that comes to mind is fine.
Okay, then I'll say to you the same thing I said to them. Farewell, Michael, until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate.
Farewell, indeed.
If, however, if by some infinitesimally low chance we do happen to meet again, would you be my friend?
Morgana. Absolutely. I wouldn't want it any other way.
I'm not a nice person, you know. I'm nothing like the white-haired girl. I'm sure to be off-putting and rude, to cause you much grief and pain.
Don't worry. I'm resilient enough to handle a little pain without pulling away. You're fine as you are. You don't need to change.
So let's meet up in our next lives.
And become good friends.
Not good friends, and not acquaintances either. Just plain friends. Understood?
Understood.
I'm rather looking forward to it. Now, this is goodbye for real. So I suppose I'll part with some uncharacteristic honesty. I'm glad to have had you in my life, Michael. And thank you for everything.
Morgana.
Farewell.
Until our souls cross paths once more.
We did it! We freed her! Morgana.
It's so quiet. So unbelievably desolate. Giselle, you endured centuries waiting for me to return. I'll wait right here for as long as I must.
But if you could come soon, like, that would be much appreciated. Like, real soon. I did get stabbed, so... And it's all getting fixed.
I can feel the mansion, that gathering place for the departed, fading away. I did it, Giselle.
I broke the curse.
I cast off the darkness.
I saved Morgana. And all the other souls trapped there.
I couldn't have done it without you.
I miss you, Giselle. All I want is to see your face, to hear your voice, feel your warmth, tell you how much I love your smile.
Bye, house. Until we meet again in the boundless sphere of fate, or something like that. I only said that line like 4 times, and I still can't remember it, apparently. Hopefully we never meet the house again. That thing was depressing, and like every one of the pasts, or every one of the doors. I guess the first one wouldn't be too bad, the Rose Manor, but all the others, let's not meet again.
Where are you, Giselle?
I know I said I wouldn't let myself disappear until you came back, and I'm wishing with all my might for my body to hold out, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. I'm coming to realize as I grow weaker that the will of one man is nothing in the face of the will of the universe. Where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. There we go. Watch everyone reincarnate in the modern day as tenants of the apartment complex in Fata Morgana. The condos of Fata Morgana. Jacopo becomes a used car salesman.
I can see right through my hands, Giselle. My lower body is already gone, and the rest of it is following. I hope you'll still be able to find me, even without a body.
It's really bugging me that one. I think that was off kilter, off crooked. I don't know why I was trying to use a fancy word there. But yeah, that was bugging me for a second. There we go. Jacopo sells us an RV and we go on a road trip in the mobile house in Fata Morgana.
I've lost my voice now, Giselle. I don't have much left to lose. I'm dissolving into the light. Say my name, Giselle. I want to hear you say my name. I'm here, waiting for you.
Summer camp in Fata Morgana. Oh, yoga retreat in Fata Morgana. There we go. We got this. The library that we taught Giselle to read in. I think that was actually Giselle. I think.
Where are you, Giselle? Am I making it through to you? Even a little? I I need you. I can't allow myself to disappear until you've returned.
Yes, the library where we squeezed in an obese rat. Honestly, the only thing I ever remember about this parlor is just how badly Yukimasa fucked it up. I think we saw it for Jacopo too, but I always think of Yukimasa fucking it up, so.
Giselle.
The stained glass. Where we painted Giselle and then freaked out. So many memories.
Michael.
She's back! Our girl's back!
Finally. I finally found you. I'm sorry it took so long. Don't worry, Michael. I know that's you. I'll always be able to recognize you, no matter what. You don't have to be afraid. I wouldn't have made it out if it weren't for you, Michael. A ray of light reached deep into the darkness, all the way down to where I was lost. It was a light more radiant than anything I've ever seen. So much so that I couldn't hold back my tears. You fought so very, very hard. You broke the mansion's curse, released it from darkness. I was right about you. You are strong, immeasurably so. Can you hear me there, Michael? I'm sorry for keeping you waiting for so long, letting you deteriorate like this. But thank you. Thank you for waiting. Now it's time for us to return, back to our rightful places. So please, Michael, don't disappear on me. Don't let your soul's flame be extinguished. I beg you. Keep holding on. There's still so much more I need to tell you. I want to hear your voice. I want to feel your arms around me once more. I don't care when, as long as I can have that someday. So that means I need you to not disappear on me. Michael. Michael.
I know, Hot Maid got even hotter, so like, who really won here? It was us. I'll answer that.
I believe in you, Michael. I believe you're still there, that you're still holding on. So I ask that one day you'll come and take my hand again.
And never let go. We've done it. We've done it. Michael Bullinger, age of death, 27. Giselle, age of death, 21. Morgana, age of death, 16. Poor girl. Jacopo Berzati, age of death, 26 and 67. I was trying to figure out why he had two ages, and then oh yeah, he lived. Yeah. Yuki Masaida, the swordsman, age of death, 25. Mel Rhodes, age of death, 17 and 24. Holy shit, Mel didn't even live that long in his second life. Maria Campanella, age of death, 24. Paulina Sama, age of death, 22. Nellie Rhodes, age of death, 14 and 18. Didier Bollinger, age of death, 37. George Bollinger, age of death, 42. They didn't last that long either. Holy shit. That family did not have good luck at all. Oh? That's fair. They did last pretty long considering the time period they lived in. That's fair. Hello? Anybody in there? Class is about to start, and last I checked, the teacher never came in through the window. Oh, right. Just a second. You've been doing that a lot lately, just staring out the window. You watching for something or just spacing out? There's this girl who's usually out there around this time every day. Right over there. See her. Hmm? That one? Looks like she goes to the junior high a few streets down. That's what I thought. But look at her hair. That flaxen color. It's almost the exact same color as mine. I can't get her out of my mind. Oh, really? If you're that interested, why not go have a chat sometime? I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Obviously, you gotta go with the old classic. Hey, baby, wanna get some ice cream and hang out? That sounds like a great way to get slapped. I'm not trying to pick her up. You're lying to yourself, man. No, I don't know. I'm like curious. That's all. And I'm curious what makes your head work, 'cause it sure ain't what everyone else's runs on. Now get moving. It's almost time for class. Oh, wait, I'm coming. I'm coming. I wonder what her name is. Yeah, because she might be my long lost sister, and I'm into that. Look, the best part of that is that they're not related this time, it seems. So maybe Nellie can have her wish. I don't know. Hey, did you hear about the new ice cream shop that just opened up down by the bus stop? I did. And I hear their mint is super good too. Aw, now I want to try it. What do you say? Want to go check it out? Let's go. Get some of that mint with a big pile of chocolate chips on top. Oh, I know. I'll get a double scoop. Ah, that sounds amazing. I'm going to get a double too. I bet the line's going to be crazy. We better get going or. Uh, hmm? What is it? There's a cute boy who goes to that school there, and I think we just locked eyes for a second. Oh? What's he look like? A prince. A prince? Seriously? Don't you be making fun of princes now. You're not 9, you're 14. And you still haven't grown out of your fairy tale phase? Like, oh my god. Just you wait. One of these days I'll meet a real prince, and then you won't be laughing anymore. Like you'd ever be able to get a real prince's attention. Hey, that's not very nice.
jerk, blockhead, meanie? Girl, you're 14, not 9. Those are the best you can come up with? Come on, let's get going. Oh, fine. I'll show you one day. That is my prince. I know, I want ice cream now too. They've made it sound really good. I'm like iffy on mint chocolate chip, but you know what? I'd try it. So we couldn't be luckier to have a talented engineer like yourself assigned to our branch. You give me too much credit, sir. You don't give yourself enough credit. I've seen your record, and you come highly recommended from HQ. I've got high hopes for you. The higher your hopes, the greater the fallout when I make a mistake, which frightens me. What you call a mistake is what we generally refer to as a great accomplishment. I don't think I've ever met anyone as close to the perfect human being as you. I'm far, far from perfect. The fact that someone is saying this to who I assume is Yukimasa, holy shit. Yukimasa the ice cream man. You Japanese really are a humble lot, aren't you? Huh? Hmm? What is it? I I thought I just saw a woman I recognized. We get a lot of tourists from your parts of the world around here. She's not Japanese. No, I must have been imagining it. This is my first time in France, after all. The art museum. Shopping. How can you take a vacation to France and not want to see the art? We were there all day yesterday, and you agreed before we left today would be a shopping day. That was before I realized just how big it was, just how many beautiful paintings they had on display. I am really hoping that this is Pauline and Maria. Exactly. Pauline and Maria are gals. There's no way one day is enough to see it all. One whole day of my vacation bored out of my skull. Not like you can eat the stuff, so what good is it anyway? Please. How about this? We go to a different museum, just no art this time. Oh, what kind of museum if you don't want to go look at art? A torture museum. I think I hate you. Lighten up. You telling me you don't want to see centuries of torture devices from all around the world? Absolutely not. Then we stick to the plan and go shopping. Oh, have it your way. But you didn't have to be so. Watch out behind you! What? God damn, that hurt. Oh, I'm sorry. Learn to watch where you're walking, why don't you? And if you're so desperate to make a damn ruckus, go find a cafe somewhere out of the way. Yeah, definitely, Maria. Well, excuse me. I apologized, didn't I? No need to be such a dickwad. Have you ever heard of a talking, or is yelling the only thing you're capable of? This is why I can't stand tourists. Have some damn consideration for the people who aren't just here to fool around. For the love of God. The hell's got your panties in a... And he's gone. That sure was something. Something is right. An insufferable asshole, more like. Burn in hell, motherfucker. That said, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Nah, it's just your imagination. Exactly. I want a sitcom where they all live in France as a group of acquaintances now. It's like a missed connection sort of thing almost. You know, they like almost meet. Could be a cute little thing. You. There, the paper. Good Lord, the stock market is a damn mess. What a nightmare. The tourists don't know how to shut up. The French are a bunch of stuck-up snobs. The pizza's awful. Nobody knows how to make spaghetti. Maybe I should just pack up my bags and forget it all. What the hell is this? An article about the human voice? Scientists are studying the effect certain frequencies in the human voice have on the brain. Keep this mumbo jumbo out of the paper, my God. Save it for some paranormal or science magazine. Back to the stocks page. Damn it, the wind got my hat. What is wrong with today? I believe this is yours? Uh, y- yeah. Thank you. The pleasure's mine. Have a nice. Uh, Hold on a sec. Yeah. First off, before I say anything, I am not trying to hit on you. Don't get the wrong idea. Now, have we met before? We have. Yes,
When and where?
a long, long time ago.
Much too long for you to remember. Excuse me?
Our paths crossed in a mansion many, many years ago. I'm glad to see that you still haven't changed a bit.
I'm not particularly in the mood for jokes and supernatural nonsense today.
I am quite serious.
One more question. Do we have any shared acquaintances?
We do. Yes.
I'm I don't know if this is Giselle. I assume this is Giselle because it's a woman. Maybe. I don't know. I could do with some sprites here.
Though I could not say whether she's here or not. Hopefully, you have the chance to cross paths with her. I, too, am looking for someone. Have a good day, sir.
Yeah. Goodbye. She looking for us?
There are memories.
Memories ingrained in my soul. Over the years, they've grown gradually more distinct. And now, at the age of 21, I remember everything. Were I to tell this to anyone, they would think me mad. So I've kept it to myself my whole life. I remember many ages ago, there was a mansion. There I met and lost someone dear to me. There I waited for him to return. I remember all the centuries I spent waiting. And I remember he almost lost his soul trying to save me. I am once again waiting for him. I'm making my way to where that mansion once stood, a single red rose in hand. A rose containing all my hopes, my dreams, my love. A prayer that it might one day reach you. Roses make wonderful gifts, after all. I probably sound like I'm out of my mind, waiting for a man who exists only in my memories. A man who, in my 21 years of life, I've never even once caught a glimpse of. But that doesn't matter, because I know how much he means to me. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I will wait. I will trust the memories burned into my soul. I don't know when he'll show up, or if he even will. Maybe we'll never meet in this life. Maybe I'll wait until I've grown old and died. But should that happen, I'll continue waiting for you in my next life, and the one after that if I have to. I'll always be waiting, no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume. I'll wait as long as it takes. Another 100, another 1,000 years. So just promise you'll come back for me. Michael? Yeah, where that mansion once stood includes France, Amsterdam, and the United States. Are you sure you're looking in the right place?
And we've hit our credits.
We did it. We saved everyone, I think. It all hurt. Everything hurt, but we did it. So that is like the second image and it's her boobs. Okay. So I think there's more to this game actually. Because I know there's other things on the title screen that we haven't seen yet. So probably next time. Yeah, we got our happy-ish ending. But I think there's more content. I'm with you there. So next time I'll take a look at what we've got, do some Googling. This might be our last stream. There might be more of it where I'll find out. But we will end after the credits here because all the people that worked very hard on this do deserve their time. Yeah. So next stream is, what is today? Thursday? Today is Thursday. Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific.
I don't think I have any other announcements. I did not realize this was done in Unity. Interesting. Would not have guessed that. That is wild. There's a game called Seventh Coat that seems to be about the cast as gamers on internet chat rooms. That sounds. I don't know how well that is going to stream. I'll take a look. We'll take a look, see what is going on, and figure it out from there. So, all right, let's see if we've got. Don't worry. Oh, apparently there's more. Don't worry. You don't have to wait any longer. Giselle. They found each other again. My heart. My heart. I'm here for you. Okay, but what about Morgana? We never got to see Morgana. My girl! Our girl! She's so pretty. Yay! We're reunited. I'm not gonna cry on stream, but thought about it for a second. And the butterflies and the flowers that they were talking about Morgana reincarnating as, and what fucking time period are we in? What are these fashions? Like, there are memories. Memories ingrained in my soul. I remember there once stood a mansion here, in which many tragedies took place, in which great pain was suffered. Much of what happened in those walls was unspeakable, but they are events I never should have forgotten. Because amidst all the misfortune, I attained something irreplaceable. Giselle, there's so much I have to say, so much I want you to know. But I'm sure I'll have plenty of time to get to all that. So for the time being, allow me to say this. Giselle, your smile is the light of my life. I want to spend my days with you. With that smile always at my side. And nothing to get in our way. We deserve to have, like, that nice, happy, boring life. All right, ending number 8, Fata Morgana. That's so cute. I have no idea what endings we actually got. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I ask of thee, O Father, to bestow upon their souls thy blessing. Oh, is this Morgana's wish? Oh, there's a prologue now. What? Okay, so this one unlocked a Requiem for Innocence. We still have reincarnation and short stories that are not unlocked. So I think we've got more to this game. I'm so excited to find out. I assume
this is modern day, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out next stream. I know! So, yeah. Let's find out next time. Yeah, so Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, and see you then. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. I know we went really late tonight, so I apologize, but I wanted to get through this. We felt so close to the end for like the last hour and a half. So as a reminder, there's always the YouTube channel. If you want to watch any of our previous streams, need to catch up on anything, please feel free. It's all there. Have a good night, all, and see you then. Good night.